What's going on? Thanks for hanging out with us today. So those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you remember we did a little meet and greet with some fellow Maverick trail owners last year. We did it in Mackey. 4 or 5 of us over the weekend. I'll put a link to that up there. You can go check it out if you haven't already seen it. Anyway, we're doing that event again. But this year we're doing it in Wallace, Idaho. And there's going to be more, I don't know, 16, 17 machines maybe. We'll have to see when we get there. It's been a few kind of last minute cancellations, but we'll see. But yeah, we're heading up to Wallace for, I think the event's about 4 days. We're going to be in Wallace about 6 days, and then we're going somewhere just after Wallace, kind of top secret. You'll have to stay tuned to see where we go. But anyway, we're going to be gone for 9-10 days total. So right now we're just getting everything loaded up, 9 days worth of food, 9 days worth of clothes, 9 days worth of beer. You know how it is, right? So we're just getting everything ready. Yeah, this is part 1 of our Wallace, Idaho Maverick Trail meet video. Thanks for watching. Check it out. Now I know what you're thinking. What are those? Hopefully I'll get a chance to show you what my plan is for those. So welcome to the Wallace RV Park in Wallace, Idaho. Most of us that showed up stayed here at this RV park. Now, not every vehicle and not every camper that you see is us. There's some other people here too, but pretty much all of us are here in this campground. We had one couple that actually just stayed at the Wallace Inn, but the rest of us were here. We had about 14 machines, I think was about the final count, 15 for part of one day. Now, thanks to the film editing, this only took us a little less than 4 minutes to get here, but we're about 24 hours into this trip. We loaded up the night before, and it's about a 10-hour drive for us to get here. And we got here pretty much just in time to get set up, say hello to everyone, say hi to some old friends and introduce ourselves to some new friends. Hang around and chat for a little while, but we all had to go to bed because we had to get up pretty early.
We give away if the yes I see you, then the guy waiting can take off.
Yeah, they might just be docking off.
So day one was a pretty easy day. We had planned to take a ride down to Avery
and for lunch and come back up. We split up into 2 groups. We didn't want, 14, 15 of us all together. It would kind of take too long and everybody'd be eating a bunch of dust. So we split us up into 2 groups. And each group left about 30 minutes apart. The first group that I led, we left at 9. The second group that the old buzzard led left at 9:30. Starts off with just heading through town. We were kind of on the east end of town, I guess you could say. We had to drive through town and come out kind of the southwest edge of town. And there's a big county road, basically, that just heads from Wallace all the way down to Avery. So back in August, a few of us met here in Wallace to basically pre-ride these routes that we had planned. And when we did this Avery ride, it was a little bit too short. I mean, you can get to Avery from Wallace in an hour, really, probably 45 minutes. It's just a big county road that heads down there. And we didn't want to get down there too early because, lunch is at noon. That would put us leaving camp at 11 o'clock. So Dan got on his map and added a little extra loop in the beginning of it, just to add a little bit more time and add a little bit more scenery into the loop. So that's where we did. Headed down the county road and headed off on this extra little loop. Now this little loop took us back into Montana actually for a little bit. It was kind of interesting watching the time on our phones change. It's like, holy cow, we're way behind schedule, but our phones had just jumped an hour ahead. But this took us all the way back into Montana. We ended up right by the side of the freeway here at this rest stop, and then turned back up the hill and headed back up. There was even a section of this road where we met up with the Trail of the Hiawatha, a couple of bicyclists. There's a section of the road that's shared. There's buses traveling through there, bicyclists traveling through there, all kinds of vehicles. We had to share the road with everyone for a few miles, and then eventually we turned off onto our own road, and the bicyclists went another way, and we headed back down the mountain back to the county road that we came up. Now once you get down to here, back down to the county road again, this is when things start to get really interesting. There are some really cool tunnels along this road, a couple of trestles, and it's really easy. It's just a steady cruise, but man, this is one of my favorite rides right here. This is beautiful. So we stopped for lunch in Avery. Great little restaurant. I mean, the only thing they serve is fried chicken, pizza, and breadsticks. And they do have soda and beer and things like that. But those are the 3 things on their menu. And they do those 3 things really well. So the second group, the 9:30 group, by the time we got to Avery, they'd caught up to us just because I do like to drive slow. My bad. But so we all had a chance to have lunch together, which was nice. And after lunch, we all met at this park, which was about a block away from the restaurant, and just kind of regrouped. And now there were 2 ways back. There was the original plan, which was to run along the river, head up Slate Creek, and Dan had added another loop to just kind of make the return trip a little longer, just to make this ride a little bit longer. And it was getting a little later in the afternoon, and I really wanted to just head straight to Slate Creek and up and kind of take my time. Dan wanted to make the longer route, and there were people who wanted to do both, so we split back up again into 2 groups. Some went with me, and we just went along the river and up Slate Creek, and Dan led the others the long way, but he was, it was, like I said, it was getting late, so he was going to hoof it pretty good. So those that wanted to go fast and take the long way followed Dan. One that wanted to take the short way and just kind of cruise followed me. And so we just kind of regrouped and split up again and headed out of the park and headed out along the river. This was really a pretty little road along the river right here. And I don't know, 2, 3, 4 miles or so, and it comes out on the highway really directly right straight across from the Slate Creek Trail. And I had been touting up this Slate Creek Trail. I was really excited for everyone to see it. I mean, when we pre-rode this trail, it was kind of late evening. It was stunning. I mean, this trail really, I mean, it's not really a trail. If it is, it's a big trail, and it's an easy cruise. And I just told everybody in my group, you know what, put it in low. Let's take our time and let's just cruise up this baby. I mean, this trail is stunning. I really love this trail. Now, I just want to give some credit where credit is due. I keep using words like I and we. And simple fact is this event was put together by the old buzzard, Dan Plute, and I really want to give Dan full credit for the work that he put into organizing this. And I use event in quotes. It was a meet and greet. It was nothing. I hate to say organized event because it was not an organized event. It was just an event that was really well organized by Dan, and I appreciate Dan's efforts in taking the time to go through the maps and trying to put some rides together, and then getting us together for a pre-ride to make sure that these were all going to work out. And yeah, I just want to make sure that I give credit where credit is due, and we all owe a huge thanks to the old buzzard for putting this together. But that about does it for us for part 1 stick around. There's probably at least 2 more parts coming. We'll have to see how things kind of get cut together. We'll see you guys all in the next video, and we'll see you out on the trails.